Hello, everyone. My name's Teacher Nikki. I'm an online Spanish teacher, and I also help teachers with Spanish curriculum and tips for teaching Spanish. So, in today's video, I'm going to share this tutorial on how to play this game with numbers, and this is going to be on Teachers Pay Teachers, this template, so that you can use it in your classroom as well. Just look for the link in the description. So first, let's talk about how to play this game. This game is both a numbers and a vocabulary game. And I play it when I teach my students city and restaurant vocabulary. So I'll introduce about 4 words at a time, and then we do some practice, and I'll see if they can recall the words with a word bank. And we'll go through like a few sections of these. So we have 8, um, 12 words here. And then I add all these same pictures underneath. So you see the pictures here. Those are all underneath these numbers. And then what I do is I'll review numbers 1 through 20. I break it down into sections because some of the time I work with students that don't know any of the numbers yet. Most of them do know 1 through 10. And other times maybe they know how to count to 20. So it's a variety of kids that I get because I typically work with homeschool kids who have varying exposure to Spanish, but most are beginners. Generally speaking, they're beginners. So in any case, I've played this game with ages 8 and up, so you can play it with middle school and high school students as well. And the reason that this is so beneficial for learning numbers is because of the repetition and use of the numbers. And we play it 2 days. So day 1, we do the first section of vocabulary. Day 2, we do the second part of the vocabulary. So we do the game a second time. And this is not like a test for them to recall the numbers. This is just literally getting them to repeat the numbers over and over with a word bank. And you are their guide. So you're helping them pronounce them if they forget them, or you're helping them recall if they cannot remember how to say the numbers. Remember, this is not a test. This is really just to get them to practice saying those numbers over and over again. Because they don't get to say them very often. Even when you teach like 1 through 100, most of the time students forget those. So that's why I consistently incorporate numbers in games like this. So as you can see here, I have a word bank of the numbers. And when we get to playing, what I'll do is I'll move this. This is called the film strip. So if I go to view, I'll click here where it says show film strip. And this is in Google Slides, by the way. So I'll click that off and then it opens it up like this. And I can take these and move them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. This was already kind of like clicked on. But once I click both of these and I click shift, I let go of shift and then I can move them together. You could also, we could group these. So let me just click off. So I'm going to click the first one, then I'll click shift, click the second one, and then I'll click arrange, I think. Yeah, arrange and then group. And now they're grouped together as one. So in the future, I can move them together like that, back and forth. But I don't like to keep them grouped like that. So I'm going to undo that. So I'll click arrange and ungroup. And then I do like to have that here so that they can see both of them together. Now let me go back here because I'm not in the template. So this is the template. And so we'll go through practice saying 1 through 20. 1 through 20 is all grouped together, but these are individual squares. So what we're going to do is I'll tell the students we're going to practice saying these numbers. After that, you're going to pick a number 1 through 20. One of the reasons I narrowed it down to 1 through 20 as well is because, especially with 8 through 10-year-olds, but I imagine this is an issue too with middle school, maybe not so much with high school. But if you let them choose 1 through 60, they like take forever to choose a number. Whereas if you let them choose 1 through 20, they'll choose the number a lot more quickly. So if they say the number in English, I'll say, okay, let's say it in Spanish, just to keep reiterating. Say it in Spanish, say it in Spanish. And as you play the game, they'll get better at it if they forget. So I'll let them choose 1 through 20, and let's say they choose 5. So what we're going to do here is click on 5 and then click delete. And you can't really see, there's 2 pictures here, so it's kind of like, well, you don't know what it is. So the next student will go. You can do this a variety of ways too. You could have one student choose like multiple numbers. It depends on how big your class is. My groups are usually small, so sometimes I'll say, okay, why don't you choose 4 or 6 so you can reveal one of the photos. So let's say they choose cuatro, delete the next one. Now I'll say, okay, ¿sabes qué es? Or just ¿qué es? And then they have the word bank over here as well. And since I am doing this virtually, I use Zoom. I will actually cross off the words that they get each time. So this one is el restaurante. Let's see right here. So I would put a line through it so they know that one has been done. You can make that line thicker too. So you just have to click like 3 or whatever. You can make it more like a different color if you want it to pop out a little bit. So let me just undo those 2 things here that we did. Put those back. So you see the point of the game, you see how to play the game, but what about the template? Now, what do you do? How do you get the pictures that you want under there? Because I imagine you're going to want to change. You're going to want to change these words and the images. So I grouped these for a reason. You have to click in the right spot because if you click like right on a square, it's going to select that individual number. So kind of try to click like in the middle like that. And then what you can do is once you have the whole thing selected, you can move it down. And then you can start replacing the images. So all you have to do is click on the photo. So first, let's just click this photo, click replace image. For me, I upload it from my computer. And I have all these different images for this particular unit inside here in a folder. So maybe you want to get all your images together first and then have them in one folder so you can do this more efficiently and quickly. And it's a lot easier that way. If you don't want to resize it, just think about the fact that maybe, okay, there's not a lot of images that are this shape, like most of them are going to be this shape. So if you don't like that one, you might have to do some resizing like that, but just know that then there's not going to be an image here, or you'll have to put like 2 small ones, stack them like that. So make sure you think about that as well, the size of the image, and how this is already kind of done for you in this manner. So if you want to look for one that's kind of like that shape, then it'll be faster for you to do it that way. So let's reselect 1 through 20. See where I clicked on the 4, it didn't quite click. Now it did. So you can carry it, you can drag it up like that too, or just move it with the arrow key. And then the same thing here, 21 through 40 are all grouped together. Again, you have to kind of click it just right. I don't know why this one's a little bit more. There we go. So I'm just going to shift down here. Let me arrange that. So let me undo this. Hang on. I'm going to just put this so that it is in front of, I want it to be in front of these numbers. So there we go. Let me put this back. Okay, so when you select it and you move it, you can put it right on top of those. And then these images are the next row and you can replace these. This one goes down to the bottom. It's a really long one because it's a ticket window. So again, you could just delete that and maybe replace it with this same size because if you put this here, they're about the same size width-wise. Okay, we're going to move this back. And then it's the same thing right here. Just replacing those images. And once you play, you just want to make sure that everything is kind of like covered up. So for this one, there we go. You could have, it's possible like there's a little bit peeking out at the top. There we go. Yeah, if you have it just right, you shouldn't have anything peeking out at the top or bottom, but if it's like a sliver, it's not a huge deal. Um, so that is the gist of how to use this template. Remember that when you are deleting the numbers, you want to click on the individual number to delete them. But what about when you want to put the numbers back after the game? I'm going to go over to the original slide here. When you start editing, so let's say you get 1 through 60 and they're all deleted. If you go to last edit, what you're going to want to do, you'll see all the different versions. So maybe like December 15th, you could see like it's a different version. Here all the numbers are off. I was playing the game and then I restored it. So then you click restore to this version and it will do it for you to put it back how it was when you started. But make sure you don't restore it to the version with my pictures. You'll know which version it is because it'll be like version 1, version 2. Like it doesn't say version 1 or 2, it says the date. So just pay attention that you select the right date. I believe that is everything that I want to share today about this activity. Leave a comment if you have any questions. And I'd love to hear other number games that you do to help kids remember numbers in Spanish class. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to get the link in my description to grab this on Teachers Pay Teachers. Adios.